So the first showing, not a positive sign for Mickey Joseph, but he was put in a bad situation. Sure. You know what the final stretch of games looks like. The last 4 or 5 are pretty brutal. So what do you think Mickey Joseph needs to do to put his name in the running?
So I had this kind of epiphany when I was in Nebraska this last week, and I haven't given this take on my show yet. I will this week. But from a fan perspective, you don't really understand what all goes into running a football program. These football coaches at the big programs like Bama, Ohio State, Texas, USC, Nebraska, they're in charge of a multi-$100 million company. Their job is not just to be the head coach of the team and try and find a way to win. Their job is to manage the people who do the marketing and manage their budgets, work with the donors, manage all the recruiting, all of their support staff. This is a massive operation. Unfortunately, no matter how well Mickey does this year, even if he was able to spark this team and get some big wins, upset Michigan, come down with a win at Iowa, anything else that could get him to a bowl game, it won't matter to me because Trev Alberts understands the operation and the undertaking it's going to be. So he's going to have to go with a guy who at least has some experience in that world. Mickey Joseph is coming from LSU, where he was a wide receivers coach. And that's a really good job, but you've got to build your way up and get some of this experience to run an operation like that. Nebraska's building a $180 million facility that'll be open next year. The donors are all in on this program. The fans are all in on this program, and you need a guy who can oversee that. Mickey Joseph doesn't have the background to say that he's able to oversee that. Nebraska needs to go after a guy who has legitimate Power 5 head coaching experience or a strong number 2 at a school like Clemson, like how Brent Venables was, because he was able to learn from Dabo, understand how all of that worked, and then he was able to take over to Oklahoma, and it wasn't as big of a transition. But to go from position coach to head coach right away is a big jump, and I don't think Mickey is able to do that.
Yeah, it truly is a stepping stone process when you talk about somebody being a wide receivers coach or a linebackers coach. They're a football coach. They're a football coach like we typically think of being a football coach. They're thinking about coaching and developing and instructing players and leading a unit, a linebacker unit, a wide receiver unit. Then you get to coordinator, and yeah, then it becomes more complicated trying to coordinate all those various units together, the quarterback, the offensive line, the backs, receiver, the whole thing, and then coordinate with all the coaches. And then it's just a higher level of oversight and coordination. But then you take that huge step to, as you phrase it, CEO of an entire operation at this magnitude. It's pretty daunting.